Canada's women's soccer hopes dashed. The team shut out by host Australia. After the break, I'll look at the loss and how one BC superfan is responding to their performance. Stay with us. And for someone who's been watching the games very closely, let's bring in Abbotsford's Emmy Curtis. She's a soccer superfan, aspiring sportscaster, and content creator who's been sharing the beautiful game on TikTok. So welcome, Emmy.
Thank you so much for having me. Great to be here.
It's great to have you. So I know you have been up at all hours watching the Canada games very closely. What did you make of Team Canada's run at the World Cup this year?
I mean, obviously the results were not what we were expecting. Canada being a top 10 FIFA world ranked team and reigning Olympic champions, I think with it, they were expected to go much further. Unfortunately, they seem to lack a little bit of confidence, but when you have a lot going on outside of the game, like the women's national team did, issues with the federation and with the labor dispute, obviously you don't want to point a finger that way, but it's undeniably a contributing factor. But I think although Canada's run has come to an end, there's lots of positives that do come from this. The women's game for years has been asking for more media attention and an opportunity to be an image for the upcoming generation of players. And being in the sports community, I can see the impact that this team and this group of women have made for boys, girls, Canadians, non-Canadians. And so I think it was a really great run for the Canadians. And while this tournament is over, there is still an Olympic qualifier at the end of September. So there's lots to look forward to with this Canada women's national team.
I'm glad you bring up the interest because I think there was a lot of hope and a ton of fan interest going into this World Cup. What do you think this means for the future of women's soccer? I've been seeing you talk lots about it on your TikTok channel.
For sure. Well, I think in terms of the game of soccer in Canada in general, obviously, our country is coming off 2 World Cup appearances on both the men and women's side, a look towards a men's World Cup here in Canada in 2026. So I think with that kind of visibility, I have no doubt that this game is going to grow immensely over the coming years. I'm hoping it starts with Sinclair's closing message, calling out Canada Soccer, saying that it should be a wake-up call for the Federation. The women's team have been battling a minimal level of support, and you shouldn't have to strike to get adequate training funds and facilities. So I hope to see more support from Canada Soccer and more support for our youth national teams because this sport really is on a rise in Canada.
How have you seen the fan interest grow in women's soccer?
I think it starts with we've seen it everywhere. I know I'm involved in sports a lot, but my entire For You page has been all sports. I think TSN has done a great job with their broadcast of there's a 24-hour channel. You can always go there to watch the women's games, Team Canada or not. And so I think just the broadcast and it being on your social media, I think there's been a bigger image, a bigger platform for women. And I think that we've definitely seen higher interest because of it.
All right, great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us today. Abbotsford's Emmy Curtis.
Thank you.